Actually, before we get started, because I forgot to add it in beforehand, and I do want to sort of make sure that these videos start off with an acknowledgement that these are sponsored videos, sponsored by StarDoc, and so I do thank StarDoc for sponsoring these videos, and but also it's important that you guys sort of know, just in case you got any qualms about my objectivity. I think it's important. Anyway, I'll get on with the rest of this particular episode. Take it away, past me. Well, welcome gamers to what is essentially episode 3 in terms of the actual series, this particular series of Galactic Civilizations for Supernova. And again, we do have to specify it is the Supernova expansion of the game, not just the base game that had come out on Epic a good year or so ago. And we're playing as the Imperial Ascendancy. This is a second of the gameplay videos that we're actually sort of playing it through here. Now, weirdly, you can't actually access your civilization screen from in the game, which is sort of unusual. I'm sort of hoping that they do add this in so you can actually at least just go back and have a quick look and see who you actually are when you do come back in. So I've just started the game. I've saved, come back out, and we're just going to have a quick look and see who we are just as a point of contact. So we can then just go back in and start to really role play, playing as the Imperial Ascendancy. So here we are and through here. Now, just very, very quickly, we're playing essentially a bit like as if we're playing like a Warhammer type Space Marines type faction. So we've got sort of like a human, a God Emperor. So Imperial Ascendancy, devoted disciples of the God Emperor, relentless human warriors fueled with an unwavering purpose, striving to fulfill their divine mission amidst the chaos of the cosmos. This was written by the Alien GPT, who basically, we just gave him some little prompts, just a handful of words, and we ended up with a big, rich backstory. We've got a pretty awesome looking, pretty evil looking character here, who is our God Emperor, back in through this side as well. Our actual abilities are adaptable, so we can colonize extreme worlds, which is good for us, and we also are warriors as well. So we ignore 10% of all damage done to the ships. All weapons do 10% more damage as well. So we're going to do fairly well in combat. We have colony ships and flagships to get started. Traditionalism is this philosophy values historical continuity and emphasizes the importance of customs, practices and institutions that have endured over time. Traditionalists often resist rapid social change and maintain a deep reverence for cultural heritage. We're carbon-based as well, being humans, because we are playing with a human citizens. So even though we are the God Emperor, we are still playing with humans. Anyway, that was in the last episode. We built this particular faction, and now we're just going to continue on in and go from there. If we go to next, we have any... No, that's it. All right, we'll go into the game. I keep on finding these little things that I haven't shown you, and this is actually one of the advanced settings. I'll just show you where I got this one from. I thought before I went into the, I didn't click on this one last time. We're playing on a tiny galaxy, but with a binary 2 sectors in the actual game that we're playing. This is the advanced settings for the game that we're actually playing as well. This is quite interesting. Again, the extras that StarDoc put in terms of their options and settings really do stand apart from other developers with this. I mean, there's a few games that have sort of done this a little bit in recent years, but StarDoc really did start it. I'm just wondering whether it was Gal Civ that actually started that, or Fallen Enchantress. One of those games really had so many different options in it. It may have been an earlier Gal Civ, like Gal Civ 2. Anyway, you've got disabled tech trading completely, so basically players cannot trade any technologies, or you've got disabled tech brokering, so players can only trade known technologies. So I've actually got that one turned on, so we're still disabling tech brokering of things we're not aware of. Disable AI surrendering. I'm going to allow them to surrender. Surrender colonies, so colonies transfer ownership upon surrender, and no fog of war in territory. So inside our borders, we get to see everything. So these are just little settings we actually have, and I've turned on all of the different victory conditions. So conquest, influence, alliance, monthly limit, and prestige. So they're actually all on there. Prestige is an interesting one, which we will actually have a look at sort of a bit later on in the game. Anyway, let's get into our current game. Now, in this episode, we should be doing a bit more diplomacy, I would assume. We'll start to really flesh out what's happening in our sector. So that will be pretty much where we sort of go with this particular episode. I don't think there'll be too much drama in terms of combat, but we should also start to build up our military now in this particular episode. So what we have here is our flagship. So this is the ISC Discovery. One thing I think I'll just go through, I haven't shown you any of this stuff just yet. we just mentioned before about the prestige victory. This is the path towards that victory. And so you can see through there, earn prestige by building your civilization and completing galactic challenges. The below list are the points. So these are the different points we actually have of what we've been able to do so far, or what we actually have available to us. And so we've scored 134 out of 1,000 points towards that prestige victory. Again, just an interesting way of actually having like a score for the game, where you've got all these different types of aspects that you can then sort of grab points for. So the main one that we have is the sector ownership score is up there, but that will diminish as the others start to catch up. If we have a bit of a look at the other one, this is actually who we know is coming second. Now, we've only met the Taurians. So they've only got 39 points. But again, the game exposes all the information without actually, I've turned off, like you saw it if you looked at the very, very first episode where I showed you what the scope of the game was. I did use a fog of war cheat to sort of see who was who in the zoo. But in this case, we only know the Taurians that are in our particular sector. There may be one more, I would guess. I'm not sure about that. Sort of, if we only have the Taurians, it should ultimately be a fairly comfortable game for us. If we end up with one of the other more aggressive factions in our sector, it may be a bit more difficult. Anyway, let's just see how we go. They've only got 39 points. All right, let's continue on. Other things we can sort of see through here. We had a quick look at these. These are our advisors telling us what they think that we should be doing. This is the advisors screen in through this other side. The next one across is the summary of our group, which is the Imperial Ascendancy. Again, it is sort of strange that we don't actually have an actual sheet that we can then have a look and see what the parameters are that we chose at the start of the game. I do hope they add that in. I sort of was expecting it to be honest, in civilization, somewhere in through here. Another button just to sort of go through and show things. Again, there's more stuff in here to show as well. We've got like trades in through there. We can sort of start to get trade routes. We will try to do that this episode as well. So we'll start to do a lot of these different sorts of things. And we've also got automation, which we may look at later on in the game. We may not be big enough to really warrant doing this one. This is sort of like a bit of an expansion on the idea that had come from GALCIV 3, where you can actually then start to automate what your shipyards are doing, what your ships are basically, where they're going to be going. So you can start to manage much, much larger entities and much, much larger empires through this sort of automation. You can also then do the same thing with the fleets, just directing them where they're going to be going, etc., which is very, very good. So that's fine. But yeah, no, there's no area that I can find in the game, unless I've completely missed something, where you actually get a summary other than going back out of the game. I will do that a bit just so that we keep a track of how we're supposed to be role playing the game. And I probably haven't role played enough, to be honest. So let's just go back in. We click on done with that one through there. So now so that's the summary as to where we are. 2 core worlds at the moment, 2 colonies, 12 citizens all up. Now the citizens are, again, the people who are on the planets, as well as certain people who are on certain ships. So, for example, on our flagship, we'll find that they've got a citizen in through here as well. So there's a fair number of them. I don't think we get a summary of where those citizens are yet as well. I'm sort of hoping that these are the sorts of things where we end up with tooltips explaining where they all actually are, because that would sort of be useful to sort of know where that one actually is. This one then just gives us a bit of a look at the balance of power, how we're coming through in different things. Now we're coming 5th out of 5 for military, so we're behind in military development. Again, I love that it just gives us all the information. It is very, very good. And this is the overall sort of power score, I guess, as to where things are going. This is just showing us that the civilization is willing to speak to you, which we've got a little symbol down through there. There's a trade offer they're actually offering us. And then we've got the next one of the planets, just a summary of the actual planets themselves, what they're producing, what they're building, what the colonies are doing. Again, just really, really simply spelled out for us. These are uncolonized planets. We can have, if we've got a very particular need. For example, many of the factions you play will struggle with food, and so you may have to just quickly have a look through and just look at the food column, which is the second one in from the right. If I press Shift, this one in here. So this is the farming that would then send food straight back. But you can see in this case, we don't have any planets out through here that are actually viable for food, but these guys in here do. So we've got some pretty amazing ones there. That's 4, that's 5. And then we also then have the actual food production back in through this side as well. So that's sort of where we are with the, with those sorts of aspects. There's a lot in the game, a lot that you don't need to know, but it's nice to know. So anyway, that's their core worlds. There's our capital in through there, just sort of telling us what's going on. This is also how we can then sort by different sorts of things with it as well. Again, we can sort by sort by food, sort by planet class, etc., etc. Next one across, you'll notice there's a little symbol there, which means that one of our ships can upgrade. And so, if we go and click on this one through here, you can sort of see that we've only really got 2 ships that are actual ships. We've got our probe and the flagship. And so with our flagship in this instance, you can see there's a little symbol there that allows us to say, hey, you can actually update me. So let's go and do that. So with this one through here, if we go and click on the actual ship itself, so this is the one, it does have a citizen. There's a citizen back down through that other side. So we've got this is Jesse Eperies, who is not that great, to be honest. Not the greatest captain, but anyway, that's what she is. We'll just go back to the ships again, and we can now just click on down the bottom here and do the upgrade for the actual ship itself. So when we click on that one, we've got a few different things that we can do. Some of them we can't do. So for example, the extended reinforced hull would require 3 Durantium to be able to then go and build this extra hull. The crew quarters we can build straight away where we get extra hit points, 20%. The command bridge will give us 1 extra move. The communications terminal will give us sensor range of +2, which actually would be... Actually not... They're all pretty useful. The Illyrium cell will give us a beam attack of +2. Now we will get an Illyrium at some point. Antimatter warhead as well will just give us a missile attack of +2 as well. So I think I might go with the extra hit points. Yeah, I might go extra hit points at this stage, because I'm thinking ultimately this will end up being a combat ship. So you can see now the little symbol has gone from there, it's gone from there, and it's gone from there. So that's where we are. All right, so we are with all of those. Let's go and... Oh, the last one here is shipyards and star bases. We only have the constructor at this point. Sorry, the forge, which is our shipyard, and it is building a constructor at this point in time. Now, I should start to spend a bit of this money, but I'm still thinking I've got a little bit more to do. We've got a few things to do this particular turn. Let's go and do this trade offer with the Taurians. So this one here is Class Cleanser. It's saying, here is an exchange we propose, alien. It is a good one, fair and true. And so this is sort of like a bit of an indicator as to sort of how it sort of thinks the trade actually is. So Emperor is saying, we are considering this trade. Here is what we had in mind, 983 credits. In addition, we are including some other items for your consideration. So we give the Universal Translator and the and 983 credits, and we get exotic world colonization. So it allows us to colonize worlds that are normally inhospitable to most species. Now, we don't need that, because I don't think that's what we need. Again, I can't tell. If I just click on if I click on done, I don't know if I can still come back to it. Just say goodbye. Yeah, it looks like that was it. I think we've already got that in terms of we don't need to actually have that particular one. So let's not spend that one. What we might do though is actually go and talk with them. So we'll just go back out into here again and go down to diplomacy. And through here you can see there that we actually have got a slightly negative thing actually happening with them. Now I'd like to try to secure that to make it more friendly. And so at the moment, it's just cultural differences. We're not going to really be able to change so much. So again, we don't get to see all these different abilities for ourselves. It would be so handy to be able to just grab it from in-game rather than having to squid out to go and check what the abilities are that you actually have. So these are fertile. They start with 2 additional workers and population grows 25% faster, and they're unwavering. So colonies are much harder to culture flip, and access to the unbroken spirit technologies. They're aquatic. So that's okay. They're opportunistic. If they see weaknesses, they'll take advantage of the opportunity, and they're xenophobic, most distrustful of all the civilizations. Their cultural focus is equality. That should be okay. We don't actually have any diplomats assigned to them. We might do that. It sort of would be good for us to have a friend, and why not these guys? We might as well do it. And they haven't assigned a diplomat either. So let's just go and we'll just go and do some trade with them. So they were looking for... Now they've got starbase modules and xeno-industrialization. if we go that way, and then we go back to our text, give them that one, and so it's still uneven, so we have to give them something else. Now if we gave them research districts, they still need more. Subspace scanning, actually that is good for them. Zone of industrialization is actually going to work as well, so this is acceptable. I like this. Again, it's so simple the way it does work. Now throw that one in and it's 50-50. I don't need that one, so we'll get rid of that. The ships that they've got probes, a supply ship and a hermit crab, which is just a constructor, so we won't bother with those. Strategic resources modules, there we go. We can that's still acceptable at 5. Let's go and throw that one in. So we give universal translator and subspace scanning, and we get some 4 modules. We actually get to be able to then build them ourselves, and we get xeno industrialization as well. So we'll accept this. Done. Okay, so that's cool. So that's a bit of diplomacy. We can tick that box. Continue on. Done. And that, I don't think if that will actually sort of show up there at all. No, it's sort of they're unfriendly at this stage, but that's okay. We'll get that one fixed. Let's go and see if we can get ourselves a diplomat. Let's have a quick look at our who we can actually bring in. So we want someone with high social. Here we go. We've got Robert Lee. Now he's got a loyalty of 52, and social is good for skill at approval and influence tasks. A high social skill is important for diplomats, ministers of colonization, and governors. Again, nice sort of simple mechanics with this. Okay, we'll employ a bit of money there. We also need somebody to start to look after these other planets, so we want fairly high diligence. I'll grab Matt at this point in time. Now he is plus 10% but minus 20% research. That's a bit of a manufacturing. Plus 3 population capacity and minus 6% approval when assigned as a governor. Well, we need to grab a governor. He'd be a good governor actually, as well. But we do need to have the diplomat, and he's terrible with diplomatics, or with diplomacy, not diplomatics. I might leave it. I think. And we'll just go back across into diplomats. And so for the Taurian regime, we'll go and bring him into that particular relationship. That will then start to make it more positive for us. So that will be good. So Robert Lee coming back into there. Just to quickly go over things, we've still got these other 2 worlds as well. Now we do want to get another governor in here. I might leave it. Do we do it now? I don't know if I can bring her across. Now once they're assigned, they're assigned. The ministers, I think I can shuffle them back in around. The minister for exploration, really looking for high diligence in here. I could put him in that role. It means we can't move as far, but that would still be okay. Let's go and do that. Bring him in. So we have a plus 7 ship range now. But it's going to allow us to get the governors back in through this other side. So this class 30 world, let's just move him across into there as well. So he's down to 25, which is a bit of a problem. So we've now got some other issues that we now have to start to figure out what to do with Scott. So Scott Dan is our most troublesome. Stephen Jackson is also not doing all that well. The Emperor is fine. He will always be fine. But we need to sort of get on top of this. And so we need to find a way to make him happier and her happier as well. So let's just go back and click on done for that one. I think we're done with this. Yes, we've got a fair few in there now. If we have a quick look at diplomacy again with this one here, we should start to see, recent assignments will take effect next turn. So that will be next turn that we get that one through there. And actually you'll see there that we've now got the governor in through this other side. So they're going to be generating diplomatic capital every month. And so we'll start to sort of get a closer and closer relationship with them through Robert Lee. Okay, that one's done. And we'll just move back out of there. What are we having through here? This is one of our constructors that we've now got. So we now have to figure out what to do with that one. Actually, we've still got... I'll just go through each of these. We've got an idle ship, which is this one here. All right, we'll just do it bit by bit. Now, we have some gerantium in through there. Gerantium is going to be very, very important to us. We have some there as well. Now, I don't think we can actually squeeze this ship. Its area is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 essentially. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we're not going to get both. Let's just go for one of them in this case. Maybe we'll go for this one here, just so we can get the get our borders to extend across. There may be another one in the middle there somewhere. We haven't scouted any of this yet. Then we have Idle Core World, which is the new one. So this is actually the new world that we've just found. This looks very interesting, actually. We've got some good stuff in here. So let's have a bit of a look. So this is, well, I'm going to rename these worlds as well once we start to sort of figure out what we want them to specialize in. So we have a +2 to research with this impact crater. Now we actually have a whole lot of research in around here. So putting like a research booster in there will really start to enhance all of these. We have a paradise, which is +2 to anything we like in through there as well. So that's another great one. We could even get our this grasslands is actually is +1 to population. If we drag this one in, like at the moment we've got 1 of 3. If I look at this one through here, we end up with a population cap of +1, but we can extend that to another +2 by going there or there. So they're the two locations where that would actually be applicable. But this one's good because it's surrounded and we get the boost all the way through. We do have an influence boost in through this side. We have a +3 research there and a +3 research there. So that's another great little spot down the bottom there. Back up through here, we've got manufacturing, research. Well, this is really looking like a research world, isn't it? And he is good at research, I think. Actually, no, he's only got 7 intelligence. This is the Artocarpus fruit. So this is a trade resource, and it boosts +2. The adjacency bonuses are +2 to population. Actually, this amazing fruit can be a staple food source on even the most arid planets. It does, however, have a side effect of making most of the known species in the galaxy more fertile. Okay, so that's fine. So yeah, that one is a trade resource. Yeah, there's a few extra little bits and pieces back up in through there as well. This is a very, very nice planet. This is our class 30 planet in through here. So I think we'll actually rename this one. Where do I name that? It might be in a different screen, but I definitely do want to actually name that one. So I think we'll start off in here. So we get the bonus of the extra population, which is actually fairly important for these sort of worlds. So when I do that one, we're now up to +4. Actually, that should have been a +5, I think. Oh, that's per level. It's level 1. Should have been more than that, I think. If I grab that and move it somewhere else and just throw it into here, for example. Oh no, it didn't do it. Okay. Yes, I can do with these. I can just keep on doing it till we get what we want. So yeah, that does go up to 4. And then we want to get manufacturing, just so we can start to sort of build other things. So we'll just go this way. This is actually what the economic advisor is advising us to do. Now we do have a +2 there. This is all this research down this way is pretty amazing. I get the +1 there anyway. So I've got a +1 there. I've got a +1 over through here, but I really want to keep this all for technology. So I'm thinking I go in here. Let's go there. It's 11 to build this thing. I'll buy this one straight away. This is going to cost me 150 credits. So we'll get that one established, and then we've got this supply depot, which is going to give us even more. We get 3 in there, so I'll grab that, and then we'll start to sort of make a lot of this area up through here ready for manufacturing in the long haul. Okay, that will be fine. 12 turns before we get our next citizen. Now these guys are unhappy, so these are at approval at only 35%. So we need to try to fix this. We've got we're unprotected. Taxes are too high. High expectations. Strange fungus. So this is the that's the fruit. Where's the fungus? I'm not sure where the fungus actually is. Anyway, that's. Oh, hang on. We had that event when we settled it initially. So so they're actually unhappy. What we might do is we might drop our taxation. So let's just go back out. Click on done, and we can do different things in here as well. These orbital improvements. So I think we'll actually go and have a look at these. So we've got a recruiting station. I will grab one of those for this particular planet. We will be wanting to get this one as well. So, yeah, we've got that one coming. We won't construct a shipyard just yet. So we've got 4 orbitals that we can sort of place in there ultimately. And we'll just change this one to Research World. It's not very inspiring, is it? We'll call it Scientifica. That way we'll sort of know it's more sort of for doing most of our research ultimately. We haven't sort of done anything with this one just yet. We'll settle this one as well. You can see there that one's got good science also just feeding back into Scientifica, but we'll be wanting to settle this one as well. By the way, actually with the classes, there's another change in the game. You can put a governor on anything above class 10, but you can't put a governor on anything lower than class 10. So that is a change that has come into the game. If you're sort of wondering, if you're playing the game and wondering what's happened there, but that's actually what is going on. We'll grab this 20 if we can. Just keep on sort of moving our way through. Let's have a look and see what we've got in here. No planets to speak of. Now we're going further out. I might just check what's in the middle here. Okay, then we've got the constructor again, so we need to now just zoom on out. We've got Durantium in through this side. I think that's where we're going to have to go. We do have, we've got some antimatter, we've got Promethean back over there, which would be fairly handy. If we claim that, if we do claim that, we're going to then stop them from settling there, I guess. Yeah, maybe we'll just do this a little bit. Just come on through this other side. And we've still got another constructor coming this way as well. Yeah, we've got a constructor going off this way, this constructor coming up this other side. Now, a few other little things we've got. We've now actually have the first of our cultural progressions are now available to us. And so what these are, this is very similar, again, to GalCiv 3, where you actually had your ideologies would then sort of allow you to then promote different things. Now, again, we're going to have the ideology that we started with is going to be helpful in this case. So the ideology discounts, as we've gotten points over the course of the game, they sort of work out to be almost like percentage points that we end up having. So individualism, we've actually got two points in there that we've, you know, have sort of then boosted it enough. So we get a discount on their points if we go into individualism. Totalitarianism, back into the side, we've got a 2%. So if we wait one more turn, we're going to end up having enough points for any of them. But the one that we actually started with is traditionalism. And so we've got a 26% discount there. We also have citizens there with this one as well. So percentage of citizens sharing this ideology. So the more we head along here, sort of the more we're promoting traditionalism. And I think that would be, again, just in terms of theme, would be what we'll end up doing. But each of these do give you different sorts of boosts. So we end up with plus 30 research with this one through here. Nihilism it will give us detached. We get 3 free supply ships and 10% income on all worlds. Again, that would be sort of one I'd be happy to have. But I do think that traditionalism is going to be the one that we're going to be sort of doing the most with. All these other ones, we've only just got like a 1% or 2% chance with them. But traditionalism, that will be okay. So what we get here with Sacred History is the culture and standard of living on the homeworld are admired and envied throughout the galaxy. So it unlocks the improvement, the Hall of Tradition. So this is something we can then go and build on our homeworld. So I think it's not just on our homeworld. So spend cultural points to unlock the Sacred History. Yes. Now that's going to then, we've got 2 culture points left because of the discount that we actually had. That's now promoted our ideology across a little bit more. So we're now heading down towards this particular track. And so we're then going to have choices between social ties, our citizens no longer generate crime, or code of law down through here, add an additional policy slot so we can get more policies to then sort of go and play with. The policies, of course, are, I'll just click on done, are in here. No, that's not them. Where is it? No, that's not it either. Where is it? It's this one here. So civilization policies. So we've only got the heart of the empire at this point in time. But as we do more things, we're then going to have more things we can then go and do as well. So we'll just click on done there. Didn't make much sense, did it? As we do more things, we're going to have more things we can do. Anyway, let's continue on. And we'll ignore that I said that. So we've got the forge is, of course, our only constructor at the moment. We have to start to gear up our empire and start to sort of get military ships and start to do other things. Now the others we know have already got their military underway. We haven't, so we do need to sort of work on that one a little bit. But it's not critical yet. If we can get our empire working, we're going to be able to start to catch up fairly quickly. One of the little things to consider is that, for example, just to give yourself a little bit of a feel as to what's going on in the game, when I hover over any of my planets, you'll see there that there's a planetary defense. So we've got 199 defense points on that particular planet. If we have a look at our only military ship, we've only got one of them. Where was it? Here. If we have a look at this particular ship, we'll then sort of see that it's got 7 attack for attacking other ships in space. This one's only got 1, essentially, if we just hover over it, what's it called? It's called a conquest rating. So this is the measure of the fleet's effectiveness at laying siege on an enemy planet. So we have to, an enemy has to break down those 200 points, essentially, with their fleet. Now, of course, the bigger the fleet, the easier that's going to be, but it's going to take some time. So we can catch up if that's what they're doing. So we don't have to panic yet, but we don't want to leave it for too much longer. These, what have we got in the vault? We've got the increase the approval of the target world by 10% for 25 months. That creates a sustained sense of satisfaction and contentment amongst the inhabitants. I think we might play that one right away. I think we'll go and play that one across in here in Scientifica, because the people there are very, very unhappy. You can see the approval is just 36%, which is very, very low. So we'll just go back. We'll play this particular one and play it on there. So that one now actually it's now 46%, which will just make it a little bit happier. And what we might have a quick look at is, because we're now expanding and people are becoming less happy with what's going on. We'll just go back to our civilization. We're at 53. If I move it back down to normal, what I'm looking for here is what changes we're going to get to our gross income, but also what's going to happen particularly to manufacturing and research. So if I make it go down to normal, it goes up a little bit, and really we didn't lose much. We've got 5 coming in. If we go back to medium again, we've got 8. So we lose 3 there, but the people become a little bit happier. So let's just keep it on normal for a little while and just sort of allow it to stay there until we sort of can make things work for us. Now, we also now have to start thinking about the happiness of those leaders that we were looking at there before. Like we've got the ministers are okay, but the governors aren't. So we need to actually make these happier. So how do we do that? Well, we do that through resources. And one of the resources we have back over here at Zorak is harmony crystals. So let's go and sort of rush those. So let's just go into Zorak. And so these are harmony crystals back down this other side. This is the harmony crystal deposit. So these rare and beautiful crystals resonate with a gentle hum that instills a sense of well-being in most sentient beings. So harmony crystals can be gifted to your leaders to improve their loyalty. And so we'll go and grab that one. We then get a boost again to the approval of the planet. And so we have to be aware of that we've actually got a bit of a problem in here where we do need to sort of start to try to improve these aspects as well. This is all important stuff. Again, I love the intricacy of the game. I was going to say complexity, but it's not complex to play it, but it's intricate, and there's a lot of stuff going on in the actual game itself. Let's just go and make that the project. Now, I'm going to go and buy this one outright, which then gives me 11 turns to get that one there. I may have to rush that towards the end. Okay, we've got 51 approval there at the moment. That will then change slowly over time. Really got to get these out so we can sort of give these to these particular leaders. Now, we've got available projects there to produce modules. You can see there that we do need to have different resources now to be able to then go and start to build. Actually, there's the Halls of Tradition. What do we need there? 1 Promethean, actually. That's not too bad. That's a civilization achievement. Civilization achievement there as well. That's another Promethean. That's the Heritage Center. Eyes of the Universe is a galactic achievement, 1 per galaxy. That's 3 Promethean. We're not going to get that. I don't think we will. And this is a civilization one as well. This is a technological capital. So we want to put this one onto Scientifica, that particular world. This one here, Zorak 3, is really just a desert world. It's not really an amazing world. I'll call this one Harmony Desert. The Harmony Dunes. All right, so that's going to be that particular world. I will keep Divinia as the actual capital name. I think that's quite a nice name. Right, end our turn there. Continue on. Most of the turns are pretty fast. Here we go, research complete. Now, armed shuttles are then going to give us a couple of extra free ships at the start, so we'll choose new tech. And we've got space weapons. Asteroid mining, very, very important. That's going to be great for us. So we get the asteroid miner, which, again, back in the previous games, you'd have to build a star base in around them and then mine them that way. Whereas now you do it with ships. In fact, I think that may have changed in 3. I get confused as to when certain changes came into the actual game itself, but that's a good one for us. So I think we might go that way. That way we're going to be able to... We've got a lot of asteroids in around our territory, and so it would be great to actually grab those. Here's the 2 ships that we actually end up getting. So we end up with 2 different ships at this location. So we've got the Star Eagle, and we have the Constable. Now these are both little fighters, and so you can see through there. This one's got a kinetic attack of 1.1, and then the other one has got a beam attack of 1.1. I'm thinking I'll just add them together as a single fleet. So what I'm going to do to actually do that, I can just go back across. There's a few different things we can do: explore, sentry. I mean, I could get it to explore, but I think I'll actually slowly just build up. In fact, do I want to explore with them? There's certainly areas that we're missing, you know, like around the back area through here as well. Oh, one thing I don't know if I mentioned before. This is the range of every ship except for the probes. The probes actually don't have any limitation on how far they can go. And so the probes are very, very useful, like extremely useful. And so like that's why getting a probe now is actually quite a good ship to have, because it's not constrained by the limits of your civilization. I do want this planet, I'm thinking. I've got to get another colony ship. Let's have a look and see how we're going. We've got 10 turns with this constructor. We've still got 676. I might wait. I think I've got another one with the executive orders. How long before? 2 more months before we can draft another colony ship. So we'll do that, and then we'll go for this one. But I've got a horrible feeling that's going to be taken by the time we actually get there. Oh no, we've got actually. That's a constructor. That's right. I'm just moving this one across, and just sort of checking out different things in through here. Yeah, asteroid mining is coming. I forgot what I was just going to do, actually. What else was I going to do? We've got the vault. That's yeah, it just is going to give us extra hit points on fleets, but we'll wait till we get a bigger ship before we action that one. Okay, so yeah, so these 2 in here, I think I'm just going to set them to explore. That way they'll just automatically go and search out different areas and see what they can find. So this is what I meant to show you. Actually, you've got explore, you've got sentry, where they're staying on a different location. You can tell them to go to a specific location. You can name sort of spots in space, and then actually have ships converge on that particular point. You can pass the turn. You've got your a beam attack, so attack an enemy fleet or base up to 2 tiles away. So that gives you a bit of an advanced attack before you go in with the final attack for your longer range weaponry. And then you've got there should be a management screen in here as well, but that's only if we've got like the 2 of them. But we want to just explore with these. Just get them looking around to see what else there is in space. Okay, so we had an event. Now this was the Harmony Dunes planet report. So an illegal weapons market has taken root on Harmony Dunes, distributing some of the galaxy's highest tech weaponry to anyone who can afford it. Our economic advisor, defense ministers, and most other people with common sense are requesting that we wipe it out. So, but one of the members of our market is offering a rare relic, a type of ship upgrade called an inertial field projector, if we let them stay. What are your orders? So we can wipe out the market here, and we then lose crime. Now that's going to be probably good for us, although I think we'll have other opportunities to do that one. Accept a bribe and allow the weapons market to stay. So we end up with plus 20% crime on Harmony Dunes, which I don't really want anything near that high. We do then get the free Imperial Field Projector ship upgrade, although we can do both, infiltrate the market, seize a relic, and then arrest everyone involved. So we end up with extra deception. So the deception ability check, 30% chance of success, so not very likely. I think we'll go back and wipe out the market. We'll still stay true to our traditions and our resolve to sort of control our empire to the best of our ability. So we sort of role play that particular aspect. Let's continue on. So we advance to the next turn. Now, has anyone taken that one yet? Not yet. That's the edge of space there. Now, this one here, we're sort of outside of the range. Actually, that one's just got the Durantium on the inside there. We don't have the Durantium back over here. I'm assuming there's not going to be any others around. If I go to there, that takes us outside of the Durantium. Yep, we're inside there. It's connected. All right, we'll grab that. Durantium is probably the most basic of the special materials, so it is important that we get hold of it. It's a shame to build one with only one of them, but we will do it. So we'll just go and actually create ourselves a star base. There's nowhere else, is there? I mean, we've got Promethean back over there, more Promethean back over this way, which we're coming up for. We've got constructors in through that side. Yeah, there's antimatter there as well. There's a few that we want, but that's pretty much what we've got at this stage. So we'll just go and set this one up. And so this will be a mining starbase ultimately. I mean, we can still get the strategic resource no matter what I get. So if I go with a military starbase, so a dedicated starbase to protect your civilizations and assets, and yeah, we don't really need that one. Communications, so dedicated starbase to extend your cultural influence and assets and collects nearby strategic resources. So it will still collect the Durantium, but if we make it a dedicated mining starbase, I think we'll go that way. That way we can ultimately then go and build more. God, these cutscenes are good. There we go. So we've got Durantium. Our people have built permanent structures in space before, but nothing like this. This starbase is an extension of our very civilization. Everything we do, everything we are, can be found here. From it, we surely extend beyond our civilization even further. Well, hopefully. So this is our starbase. Now, we can go and build certain things. Now, we end up picking one Duranium because that's what we are actually mining from this location. We get 0.1 of a Durantium every turn. Not Duranium. Is that a flower? Anyway, yeah, we get 0.1 per turn, so it's 10 turns for us to then pick up one of these. If I use a mining drone, it's going to cost me one module, and we get another plus 10. So let's just go with that one there. We also have Techopod mining units, but these require Techopod hive resources, which we don't actually have. So we'll go and do that one. That's going to mean every 5 turns we end up with one Duranium. So we'll build the Starbase module, and Duranium's very important for like armor, so there'll be ships that we'll end up getting with uranium sort of armor on them, but also some of the buildings that we'll end up getting. Like, so we've actually got the one Duranium. Can we build anything back in Divinia with that? No. So there's nothing there. It's all Promethean that are required back in through that side. So we'll need to get the other one, the Promethean mine, established. Let's just go and end our turn there. Now we've done our searching in through there. We'll just move this one across. Research complete. Asteroid mining is now done as well. It's using the same image from the Durantium mine. We've got planetology that allows us to improve our worlds. We've got defensive studies, so it allows us to begin building advanced systems into our most vulnerable targets. Or we've got orbital mining, allows us to construct orbital mines for our colonies. I'm thinking that like again, thematically, I sort of feel that playing as almost like a Space Marine style faction, having these mines and things established would be where we'd go. So let's go that way. And by the way, I love that we can just pick on those 3, and I don't often look to see what else there is available. There is something I do actually want to get fairly urgently. Actually, we might change that. What I want to get is the hyperwave radio. So it allows instant communications across infinite distances and adds a flagship to your fleet. The flagship is a very, very powerful ship. So this is actually something that I do want to actually go and get. So it's only 2 turns for that one. Let's go that way and grab that one. So we'll grab that particular tech. So we're going outside of the 3 that were presented to us with the 50% research bonus. And we're then just going to go and get this one here. What they will then go and do is allow us to, and if we look at the tech navigator, it's very, very, like as soon as we go with governance, we then go to universal translator, hyperwave radio, and then it sort of opens up from there. So there's a few other little things that we wanted to get in through here, like interstellar trade eventually as well, but you know, things are sort of working fairly well. So we'll just click on done. Yeah, we're sort of opening up now into, we're still in the beginning of the game, but it's sort of now we've got a lot more choice as to how we sort of then proceed with the actual game itself. Like, do we start to try to get more shipyards so we can build trade fleets and so on and so forth? Right, so another thing, we've just noticed that this has now come back on the executive orders, and we do now have the ability to go and grab another colony ship for the cost of 33 control. So, yeah, we've got 59. Let's just go and do that one. So, draft the colonists in. So there they are. And again, it doesn't take it from Divinia. Like, Divinia has still got its issue overhead 4 there before. We get another citizen in 1 more turn. So we get a free citizen from that particular ship. Off we go. We're going to get Butler this time, hopefully. We can get there in 4 turns. That's good. And hopefully we can secure it with this on the way. So we'll end up getting a bit closer to this. In fact, we may be able to get this one. If we look at we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're sort of 6-ish in through there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so just off the side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's not quite, but I might just risk missing out on this one to then pick up. What do we get in there? That's not bad for wealth, actually. Maybe we'll go a bit closer in around here somewhere and just make sure that we snaffle this whole area up. Okay, so we've got the asteroid miner. This is the first of the asteroid miners. I think we ended up with 3 of these. Yeah, stacked ships in for 2 of them. We've got 2 in the fleet. This is actually where I meant before. We've got the, we can actually go into manage and create a fleet back and through here. We'll do this one eventually later on. We won't actually do that, but that's what we can do if we wanted to. And we can then sort through the actual stacked ships in the grouping there as well. That little symbol there is just telling us that we do actually have a stack of ships available. So let's go across and start to mine these asteroids in around Divinia. So we'll just go back across into here. Would you like to build a mining base in this asteroid cluster? Yes. And so we're now going to have, essentially, this asteroid cluster has now been claimed. And so all of these are now essentially feeding into Divinia. We've got a group of 3 there. We've got Durantium over that side. We'll focus on our homeworld first. So we'll get this asteroid miner in through this other side. And so now we're going to get even more minerals coming back into Divinia. Now we probably won't see that for a turn or so, but there's a lot now coming back into the homeworld. So the God Emperor will be happy with all of this extra stuff coming back in. We'll end our turn there. Please don't take that world. I bet you it's happened so often where they come in just when you don't want them to. Now we got fog of war that we can't see outside here. Let's just go and set this one up. I'm gonna go this side. Oh, I can't do it there. That's okay. This is the probe, and I'm really just using this to sort of check things out. Research complete in hyperwave radio. Yep, so we now actually have what we were looking for there, which was to get the extra commander, and we can now sort of get like a more powerful ship. So we'll have a look to see what's required there. All right, so we now have a space doctrine, so unlocks the frigate class of ships. So it doesn't tell us here what they do, and I can't remember exactly what the orders are for the attacks that they do. It won't matter until we're more late game anyway. Xeno Research allows us to start training a new generation of scientists in orbital mining, so it allows us to construct orbital mines for our colonies. orbital thulium extractors, etc., etc. This that may be worth getting, actually. I think we might go that way, although the Xeno research and also space doctrine, they're wanting the frigates. Ultimately, that's going to be important, but then yeah, we're not really developed enough for that. So let's go the frigates. We're going to be sort of in that region anyway. Let's just move across. Okay, we've got some pirates now. So this is the Sadalisud fleet, which is just going to have a group of small sniper units. Too much for us to take on at the moment. There is Illyrium in through there, so there must be pirates in close by. We'll have a bit of a look around. We have now another area available in here. So we can now bring in 2 policies. We can switch these in and out as required. Coerced colonisation, we don't want to be impacting our approval, so we won't do anything with that. Land exploitation is going to give us extra pollution, which we don't want to do that one either. Research grants, the income will go down a little bit, but the research will go up. That wouldn't be bad. And then shipyard stimulus. So the gross income goes down by only 5%, which isn't too bad. The GDP that we have is 41, so we'll lose 4. Research grants is gross income minus 10%, so that's actually, sorry, that's 4. This is only 5, so that would only be 2. We're making 5, so we'd be making 3 with that one. We'd be losing nearly all of it with the research grants. Let's go with shipyard stimulus. That sort of sounds, again, more thematic for the imperial ascendancy, or whatever we're called. That's okay where we are. We've got an event that happened as well. So this is a discovery from the, servo report from the ISC Discovery. So an unusual perturbation in space-time. I don't even know that word. Perturbation in space-time has led to a gravitational eddy here, drawing in debris from all directions. Some aliens in the past have even identified it, evidently used it as a landfill. There might be some things of value in here, but it's mostly just going to be junk, possibly dangerous junk at that. So we've got a choice here to either risk searching through the landfill with an unknown outcome, or this is garbage, let's not waste our time. Let's do it. I mean, you only live once. This is this is for the Emperor after all. So our crew was unable to find anything valuable amongst the junk. Unfortunately, while we were searching, a group of pirates appeared, and the most valuable thing they found amongst the wreckage was us. We stayed here too long. The pirates have now been spawned. So we don't know exactly where that is. This is another little thing where I wish it would show you. Oh, there it is. But where did they spawn? That's not them that spawned there. All right, so we've got our 2 military ships. Now we've got 2 attacks in through there with 3 hit points. What have these got? They've got 2 and 3 as well. So we need to get a more powerful ship. Let's just go and do that. Bring them together. And we'll start to sort of now work our way through to get more power. So now back over through this other side. We've got the constructor is coming in 5. I think we might rush that one. We've now got combat ships. I might sort of wait a little bit for these. It's a beam attack. That's a missile attack, and then that's a kinetic weapon attack. Back in through there. We need to start to build this up. There's a lot to do actually at this point in time. So let's just click on done. If we rush it, how much is that going to cost me? 200, which is a fair percentage. I think I'll actually not do that. Let's just click on done there. The thing we wanted to do now is we now actually have in our leaders, we now actually have our commanders are now unlocked. So we have access to 3 different ships. So the Valiant has got an attack of 3. It's only got a hit points of 5. It's a frigate. So originally designed for the Arcean war games, the Valiant was quickly redeployed for more practical purposes, and so it's increases hit points based on the commander's diligence. Okay, so the high commander diligence is going to be important, and then the increased attack based on the commander's resolve. So we need diligence and resolve for whichever commander we put into one of these ships. So 3 attack, 5 hit points. I'm not really liking the look of that, to be honest. That's the Valiant. Then we've got the Absolution with 4 attack, 5 hit points. just a frigate again. Again, yeah, there's not really much there. We've got 9 moves. This one's got 11 moves, so they move very, very quickly. Then the Vengeance has got 5 attack with 5 hit points. And yeah, an alien ship of unknown origin. The Arceans found and equipped it to serve their purpose as special abilities, so increased hit points based on the commander's diligence. Now, the other ones we actually have, we've got the Terminus. So this one requires the interstellar cabinet tech, which I'm not sure where that one is in the actual hit points, but this is beyond us with our mass. So we can see there the mass is now red. These will all be beyond us. So I think the Venge is actually going to be probably the one that we're going to go for. If we just shift click on that one through there, what have we got? We've got a missile attack of 18.7. We get a plus 10% because we're warriors. We have the experimental missile bank of plus 17 as well there. So the shield strength of 5. Shield generators of 5. Let's go and have a look at the absolution. This one is using kinetic attacks and just got armor, so a titanium plating. And then this one in through here is beam attack, and then it's got experimental lasers in through there, and it's got shield generators there of plus 5. So this one here, ultimately, the combat rating of 5 is actually not bad. We do actually have the shields plus the missile banks, so sort of more long range attacks. So let's go this way. We'll just go and go back to our recruitment. So we want high, this is the sort of person we want, high diligence, high resolve. Here we go. Here we go. So we've got Ginny Marut is going to be our commander for this particular ship. So she's pretty good with the high diligence, high resolve. So we'll go and grab her. So always flipping a mysterious coin from an unknown alien civilization. The leader seems to make decisions based on that. Fine, that's not a problem. That's what we're doing as well. So we'll bring her across. She'll then take this particular ship. So Ginny has now been spawned with a reasonably powerful ship. Certainly at this stage of the game, it's not too bad. Now we do actually have the Vault as well, which we can have a bit of a look at. So that's it now spawned into there. That's the Venge 1. And that's Ginny's ship. Now we do actually have activating the symbol of the Ana will apply some measure. So this will give us plus 10% hit points to the selected fleet. Now I'm going to play that now. So let's just go across and do that one. So I don't know if we had to do that one before everything came in. I've got a funny feeling that actually applies to everything. You can see there with Ginny in control, we now actually have better armor rating. So the commander is giving us a plus 50% there for the missile attack itself, which is good. So we're getting a little bit extra with the actual attack ratios and attack values in that particular style. So let's go back out and meet up with the rest of the fleet, which are heading over this way. And then she can just join up with them, and we'll get a few more ships involved there as well. And if we now have a look and see where we sit in terms of the of military power, we're now coming third. Actually, no, that's the actual points. That's not where we are coming in the scheme of things. If we go back into the stats. Oh, that's just the overall stats, the report. Not telling us where we are, the timeline, military power. Yeah, that's rocketed us up there. So we're now ahead of the Taurians in that capacity as well at this point in time. Just click on done. So we're not going to be the easy beats in this particular world. What have we got there? That is just the constable. We'll move that one across. Move this one in as well. So these two, when you join them up like this, they become a fleet. So that's now a small fleet, and we'll just start to sort of move this one across. We'll bring Ginny's ship back in as well, but we're going to need more ships in here to sort of make the most of it. I'll talk about fleets probably in the next episode actually, because we're running out of time in this one. Let's just go back across with an idle ship in through this side. Looks like we've been able to sort of snaffle this one, so this will be good. Let's just go into here. And we're going to then get the Promethean from this location. So we will just go and create, well, ultimately this is probably going to end up being, this is a class 20, which isn't bad. Yeah, that's not bad. So we'll just go and establish this guy in through here. This is, hang on, why are we not able to do anything here? Oh, zone of control. What are they? Have they already? Oh, they've already claimed it. Damn it! They just got it. That's what I mean. Like, this game drives you nuts. We're too late. We're too late. So they've already got that particular world. But we'll grab the Promethean because we do need this to build different things. So there's our colony ship, which is of 0 value now. So we now have to use it on other worlds. Like this one here is a poor world. It'll still be okay. It'll still feed back into what we're doing. We've got 3 worlds in here as well. We might have a look at this and just sort of see how we do go. We'll move that one back. This is the probe. Oh, that's amazing. That's Romulus. And we can get there. So I'll bring that one through there. Hopefully we'll get there before the Taurians get there. And this way we just want to keep on sort of scouting around. Oh, that's the pirates again. That's a shipyard that the pirates have actually got under their control. So we'll eventually have to go after that with a fleet of ships. If we can find the pirates before they join up, that would actually be ideal. Let's just go and join these together. So we've got 3 ships there now. Now this is the logistics. We actually end up with using up 4 logistics out of a possible 10. Eventually we'll be able to get more and more logistics points, but we can still certainly build more into this particular fleet. And so this fleet is also now worth 7 combat rating, with the 3 different ships that are actually in it. And Ginny's ship there as well. So that's that will be valuable. Did we get the plus 10%? Beam attack 1.1. It looks like we did. I think. Actually, no, that's the 10% from us. Hit points are up. That's good. So the Venge is certainly up there. I think we'd probably lose some ships, though, if we went in with those. Might grab another couple of frigates. Okay, what have we got? So Scott in here, who is still very, very unhappy. Now we've built... This one here is the coordination beacon. So this is an influence improvement. Allows us to directly communicate with any and all colonies more effectively. So this is a civilization achievement, 1 per civilization. Now this is back in Scientifica. So this is ultimately going to be where we build our science up. So we don't really need this one in here. This one's just mainly going to be for influence. Other things we can build in through here, we've got the Beacon of Babylon. This is going to require 1 Harmony Crystal. We can do that one as well. This is a galactic achievement. So this is Universal Communications Platform. Again, more about influence. Technological Capital. We definitely want this one. This one's going to cost 3 Promethean. We've got 3 Promethean there for the Eyes of the Universe. The Heritage Centre requires 1 Promethean, and the Hall of Tradition requires another Promethean. So a lot of Promethean required. So we will actually grab that Promethean next to that particular planet. And yeah, we're going to be careful of the borders, actually. That's going to piss them off a little bit. But we need the Promethean. We've got no choice. Actually, we do have a choice. I can go with the other Promethean. I could go with the... yeah, I could sort of delay the Promethean if we had to. I've still only got the 1 Durantium. We've got 1.8, so next turn we get 2. Not that I can do much with it. I've got 9 modules. We'll have to figure out what to do. We can produce modules in here as well. But we don't want to do that one. We want to start to sort of pick up bits and pieces. So this is a paradise location. We can build anything we like in here. I'm thinking we just go with research, you know. I mean, manufacturing up in here would be cool to grab it in this wasteland. So we can create like a manufacturing district. Let's do that for now. God, these people are so unhappy. Got 2 people and they are diabolically unhappy. I think we'll have to solve that next turn. They hate their culture. They're progressives, that's why. They're traditionalists. So they're not very happy at all. A strange fungus is a problem. I think, was that lasting only a certain amount of time, like 25 turns, I think? I can't remember. I cannot remember, and I'm not sure where where that will kick in. The approval is dangerously low, which is reducing the colony's efficiency and making the colony vulnerable to foreign influence. To increase approval, build morale improvements or starbase modules. That's the other thing. We really are sort of now a bit stuck, and we do need to get the approvals up. That's a trade resource. That's wealth. It's military. Yeah, maybe we actually do this and go with the entertainment district. It's going to help a little bit. Let's go that way. And we'll bring that one forward. And we can't spend the credits on that one, unfortunately, so we're just going to wait. That's influence there as well. It's more cultural than entertainment as such. Well, we're going to have to sort of work on that eventually over time and try to get that one fixed. So that one's actually going to be going. We'll end our turn there. We've just got to come and hope that they don't actually go and claim that. You'll know that there's pirates in here somewhere. Now the Promethean, we know it's just so important. You know, I think I can actually squeeze that other one out. We've got Space Doctrine. We can now get the frigates. So we choose new tech. We've got Defensive Studies, allows us to begin building advanced systems in our most vulnerable areas. This is what the research is wanting. We've got Artificial Gravity, which is going to allow us to get extra movement speed. And then Terraforming. Let's go with the movement speed. That's also going to improve our logistics a little bit. Yeah, we can go there. That way we've got both the antimatter and the Promethean. We then do share a border, which is going to then cause issues. And so this is going to be a mining starbase. Construct a starbase. This is our first Promethean mine. So the first group of our probes have returned with canisters containing trace amounts of Promethean. So trace amounts by necessity as a material is incredibly unstable. That's fine. And then we've got their first antimatter mine as well on the edge of that black hole. First the antimatter mines. Yeah, there we go. Done. So we now end up, we start off with extras of these. So we get one antimatter, one Promethean. And so we want to go for mining drones, build them into the actual starbase. That way we get one of those every couple of turns. Now they may be able to push back this border, unfortunately, and that's, we're probably going to lose that Promethean at some point. Yeah, we'll see what happens, but that's you know, I'm thinking it's good for us to pick up that one as well. I was thinking of building this one close just to try to keep everything pushed back against that, but we'll just have to wait and see how we go. Now we've got the empty policy, another one. So we've got research grants, starship specifications. The rush to create will also always result in an inferior product. Government craftsmanship will ensure the quality of our ships is second to none. So manufacturing goes down, but the hit points go up by 20%. Yep, that's what we sort of want at this stage. So so that's fine. We're fairly strong with manufacturing. We're fairly strong above it. Oh, we've got another trade offer. What do they want? Space Doctrine, Extreme Colonization, and Hyperwave Radio. And then they want to give us subspace streaming and open borders. Now they are fairly friendly. Let's go back and get rid of those. Open borders I'm interested in. So let's have a look and see what else we can do here. They got with their treaties here, exploration treaty, diplomacy, what have they got? If we did that one, doesn't do enough. We'll cancel that. Well, it does come back down to text, doesn't it? They've got 4. So we can't do this one, space weapons. We don't actually, like, they've gone further along there than what we can sort of deal with. Now, exotic world colonization. And space elevators is important. We'll grab that one. Asteroid mining is almost there. That just knocks it over the edge. Very well, let's trade. And at this stage, it's pretty much even. We've got diplomats making a good case for you and cultural differences. So at the moment it's even, but the border is now going to sort of change things. But if we go with open borders, that this will allow each other ships to pass through your respective territories without diplomatic penalty. So we just did it accidentally in the last episode, but this hopefully will then start to relieve the pressure a little bit. So we'll go that way. Actually, we've got... why is it -1? Can they give us anything else? Yep, so this will just balance it. Okay, so we'll take a few credits off them. Okay, an auspicious alliance forged between our factions, paving the way for a prosperous trade and shared aspirations. Victory awaits. There we go. So we've had a pretty easy time of it in this particular sector. I'm thinking we're the only two in this little sector, and we're going to have to find a way across the other sector before anything becomes too aggressive. But that's okay. That's okay. It's a bit nothing much really sort of happening. There's no real problems. Here we go. We've got 3 ships versus 3 ships. They've only got 3 attack combat rating as a fleet. Each one of theirs has got like 2 though. Ours has got 7. So we should have them. So for us, it will be total loss for them, but moderate casualties for us will be the battle prediction. Might avoid it until we can actually sort of really make sure that we can win it easily. No planets around that particular location. Let's just keep on going further afield. Now there's more Durantium back over that way. Event. So lost kinetic weapon. So your flagship captain reports a discovery of a mysterious cargo container floating in space. Upon inspection, it contains an advanced kinetic weapon of unknown origin. It's some sort of self-replicating mass driver. It could be valuable addition to your arsenal or sold for credits. So we'll store that. We won't sell it. I mean, it's 400, which would be valuable, but let's just go and store that one for later. And I think we will actually call it quits here, guys. So I keep on wanting to just keep on playing. What is that one going to give us? So kinetic attack of +2. Look, I might as well use it, you know. I'm thinking that what we'll do is we'll use it in this little fleet in here. So the Divinia fleet. Now that one should be. Hopefully it's not that ship that got it. Oh, I think it may be, you know. It's 2. That's it, is 2. That little constable ship got it. Damn it! Okay, well I screwed that up. I should have got them out of there and then actually managed that one properly. Oh well, more fool me. Anyway, we'll leave it there, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next episode.